Caspa has not had a proper bull run. This is like 40% to the downside. Like, that's gonna be painful. That is a retracement. If I were, let's say this ball was rubber and I were to throw it. So that being said, realistically, you need to play this off of Bitcoin. Caspa is already going parabolic yet again, okay? So what I would do is I would play this off of Bitcoin. So just in the medium term though, I would take 40% at 11 cents because this is gonna pull back. Like, let's say Caspa, like we know for a fact, it's gonna go to $1 or $5. Okay, well, it's gonna have multiple Fibonacci's all the way up, just like so. So it's gonna go to the 3618, it's gonna come all the way back, it's gonna go to the 3618, it's gonna come all the way back, it's gonna go to the 3618. So I would take 40% here at 11 cents, and I would base it off of what Bitcoin is doing in the hopes that it's going to back test with Bitcoin. So 11 cents is the big target. You could take another 10%, excuse me, at 13 cents, and I would hope to accumulate more. Ultimately, this thing, I would probably hold 50%, and just when Bitcoin starts making new all-time highs is when I would be looking to get this one. That's how I'd play Caspa. All right, so basically, guys, we're following this perfectly. This is the 2013 bull run, and I had this laid out. We are still following this perfectly, and we even paused out the same, just like we did back here. Whoops. So I think we're gonna have one more leg higher to as high as $49,000, followed by a back test. As you can see here, a very violent back test. It doesn't look that bad when you see all this to the upside, but in reality, this is like 40% to the downside. Like, that's gonna be painful. This is like 40% to the downside. It's not gonna feel great, okay? Basically, 40,000 would be a safe call, but as high as $48,000, followed by a back test of 32,000, and then we're gonna consolidate maybe around 35,000, 38,000. We're gonna be there for like 200 days yet again before the next breakout. That's where Bitcoin is going in the next, probably the next year, basically. I've been calling for 48K for a while. Bitcoin, XRP, Ethereum, Quant, that's my top four. I'll give you my top four like low markets, like some speculative ones. I like DNX, I like Ergo, I like Chia, I like Flux, I like Sauce, I like NXRA. Those are some of my low market cap gems as well. But realistically, my top four is like 70% of my portfolio, maybe more, because my plan is to rotate profits into more speculative stuff. Bitcoin to me is like the true stable coin. XRP is the winner of the start over grand magnitude. I'm heavy into Bitcoin right now because Bitcoin's going to be the showstopper until we get real deal into the bull market, and then the whales are going to rotate profits into the altcoins, and that's what I plan to do as well. Let's say I have a ball, a little bouncy ball. I don't necessarily know what this is made out of. Maybe this is rubber. Maybe this is a baseball. Maybe it's a bowling ball. I don't know what this ball is made out of. I don't know what the stuff is. But if I hold the ball, if I'm holding the ball like this, on the top of a cliff here, and I drop the ball is gonna go all the way down, and depending on what it's made of, at a minimum, it's gonna bounce up about 50% as high as 70% minimum. That is a retracement. If I were, let's say this ball was rubber and I were to throw it on the ground, it would go higher than me. That's what a parabolic is, okay? But in a Fibonacci's, you can measure this bouncing ball. So the ball bounces somewhere between the 0.5 and the 702. If it's made out of rubber and it wants to go parabolic, it'll get somewhere between the 1618 and the 3618. Wants to go parabolic, it'll get somewhere between the 1618 and the 3618.